واللي ما نزلوا بعد بس ارفعوا ايديكم لاعطيكم الورقه. ايوه جربوا بس اعملوا له سكان على التليفون. اذا ما بتعرفوا كيف بدنا نساعدكم. And I'm going to do I have a workout session. Finish ParentSquare. I didn't Sir. Yes. This time will find a place. We download ParentSquare. You have أول يوم I'm going to start mine. All right. Let's start the work. Good morning, Sabah khair, everyone. I need your full attention. Parents, staff.
Somehow the file got corrupted, so we'll figure another way. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start with 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll resume with the main. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened when I added that image.
All right.
It's so weird. There we are. All right. Well, good morning. Happy Friday. Here we are again. I've seen pretty much all of you. Alhamdulillah, the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've been working on sort of stabilizing the school building, really framing what we do around here, whether it is operations, curriculum, instruction. Today's goal is to really sum it all up and really think about the bigger umbrella that basically guides our work, whether it's within curriculum, instruction, how we allocate our resources, how we go about really allocating our programs and services, especially when it comes to how we basically budget year after year to make sure that our schools continue to be healthy, continue to be fiscally healthy, and that our children ensure they have the necessary resources, support staff, and programs they need to succeed in the schools that we choose. As you all know, ULA is a school of choice. School of choice means that the parental feedback and the parental engagement is an integral part. When I start going over some of this information, I do recall many of you were present last year. We went over it. I want to say sometime late May, when usually principals, superintendents, and district personnel are really working on budgeting and planning for the new school year. We looked at the tentative program design. We talked about some of the resources that you liked as families and as parents. We talked about the shift that our school is going to be taken on back to the foundations in the sense of what resources and what programs we are bringing. So once I go much in detail, in a minute, you guys are gonna recall some of that information if you attended the meeting last year. So today is a continuation of this yearly planning that we do year after year and how we engage our families in the decision making. Towards the end of this quick, short 15 to 20-minute presentation, I'm not going to be reading word by word, but we'll be discussing how what you see on this, slideshow, which I'll also share on ParentSquare, Dojo for now, really relates to what's happening with your children within classrooms. As you may have heard from your children, from your teachers, we're back to the foundations. When we all went to school and we learned literacy, literacy was done around the science of reading. The science of reading is a huge foundation to ensuring our students are literacy rich. And when we say literacy rich, we're referring to reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Well, how do we go about doing that? How do we train our staff members back to the foundations? Post-COVID, there was, a lot of shift and reframing towards the Chromebooks, the use of the online technology tools, they're awesome. We need our students to be very tech literate, right? And savvy and very, pretty much professional in this domain because the post-secondary world is expecting that. But at the same time, the post-secondary world is expecting communicators, young individuals who are able to properly communicate via speaking and via writing, and they're able to read. And what goes beyond reading is the comprehension of what we're reading. We can't just decode or recall some information and expect our children to just be reading. So a lot of reframing happening in the classrooms. We're back to the foundations of literacy plans and how we do the literacy block in K-2, ties into what we do in 3rd through 5th, ties into what we do in 6th through 8th, and that basically prepares the students for the ultimate 9 through 12. That didn't just start overnight. There's been a lot of preparation the past couple of years, but you can't just shift a culture overnight. It took some hard work to work on, number one, reframing our resources, the practices, training our teachers to really, every class should feel and sound and operate like a literacy-rich class, whether it's science, social studies, math, or English. Things are going to look a little different. And she's going to have a separate session completely on that. However, and I already lost the clicker, Mr. Takush. However, thank you so much. However, For us to be able to get to that level, some of you may remember those numbers from last year. We went over the tentative numbers as far as what we will be granted as a school in terms of federal and grant title funds. I'm sure a lot of our parents read the news, you're following articles, you understand at the level of the Department of Education, there's been some delay with releasing funds to the school. It's been a lot of political talk, and it's been a lot of tension at the legislators level. But we're doing really well in terms of continuing to be very budget healthy. We plan properly and we ensure that our allocations are done with one focus. What does our data say? What do our children need? And how can we use resources to support those needs? So those are just the tentative numbers. At some point towards the end of this presentation, I know last year was more one-on-one. We sort of intimately shared feedback. Today, you're gonna just input that feedback. يعني بنهاية هيدي البرزنتيشن هتعطوني رأيكم، هتعطوني تقييمكم للمعلومات، وهتعطوا مثل ما بقولوا recommendations، اشياء اقتراحات أكاديمية تبقى عندكم انتم من خلال اللي عم بتشوفوا اللي اولادكم عم ياخذوه من خلال الدراسه، من خلال الامتحانات، من خلال النوتس اللي عم ياخذوهم على البيت. هيدي اقتراحاتكم. لاست يير كان في اقتراح كثير حلو، ونحن اوريدي كنا ماخذين هذا الاقتراح من سنه قبل. lower elementary practicing handwriting, practicing الكتابه بطريقه تقليديه. تقليد هو الشيء اللي بينفع. Back to the foundations and the traditional methods of reading and writing is very critical. So هيك تقييم باخر هذه السيشن. بدي بس التركيز من الاهالي، الاقتراحات تكون اكاديميا. Remember, what we do here is related strictly to the Michigan Department of Education's standards. We don't necessarily pick standards that, you know, they're not in the books. We all may have received different education. We all come from different schools of thought. However, ultimately, you know, you enter kindergarten now, kindergarten feels like the third grade of elementary. يعني الأولاد اللي بصف الكيندرغارتن الروضة بتحسون هلا الاشياء اللي متوقعة منهم مثل كأنه ولد بصف ثالث. الأمور عم بتزيد والمنهاج عم بيصير شوي أصعب على الطفل، لأنه طبعا we are living in a very competitive world and our kids need to be up to pace with these competitive skills. So Title I, we are Title I school-wide, and this is the number that we are anticipating. Now, obviously, the number isn't just allocated towards resources, books, workbooks. The number goes into way more variety of capacities and staffing and personnel and other services and program services. Title II, we also receive Title II grants, and that's basically dedicated to training our staff members, teachers, principals, assistant principals, perhaps some merit pay incentives to keep our educators motivated to continue giving all that awesome work that they're giving. Title III, we obviously attend to a lot of our students are from immigrants and sometimes, you know, refugees, and programs and services need to meet the needs of the immigrant students, and hence why we allocate what we call Title III. That sometimes supports our after-school tutorial program, supplies, materials to implement that program with fidelity, professional learning, professional development. A lot of our parents, if you guys remember from the summer, those of you that attended the parent training on the ESL, and then the citizenship training for our families, we've been having that program very successfully for the past few years. Title IV, we all can agree that our students need this well-rounded education. Education isn't just, I'm going to master science, social studies, ELA, and math, and some of the other content-based subjects, but it's more so how well-rounded are our students, individuals, the social emotional learning aspect. A lot of you remember when we had just maybe one dean in the school. A lot of you remember when we had one counselor. A lot of you remember when we had one social worker. That department has expanded. You're now seeing that our social workers are up to 3, deans 3 to 4, counselors. We have a director for the department in addition to a school level counselor. So aside from those services, let's also keep in mind that we keep expanding our athletic programs, physical education programs, Arabic language programs, and at the same time expanding our art that they leave high school with a college credit. That is to my pockets. I'm good to go with credit. So we now have AP pre-calculus, great results across that course as well, AP literature, AP art, and AP environmental science. Instructors are Mr. Travis, Ms. Guerrero, Ms. Alawar, and Ms. Ansari. So if that is something you would like to see your high schooler eventually participate in, they have that potential and they have that opportunity. So that's why we say well-rounded, because it takes a village and it takes a lot more than just the traditional academics for our children to be ready for the real world. GSRP, who has pre-K kiddos? Awesome. So that is an awesome program that is mandated and dictated by GSRP guidelines, right? Sometimes a lot of the questions come to me, well, can we do this or can we do that? And GSRP, it's fully focused on training the child around the social, emotional, motor skills. It is not the traditional academic type of training. Once they transition to kindergarten, they get that training then. But GSRP is a beautiful world that is really getting the students ready for kindergarten. That is our preschool program, section 31A, that basically ties into, I teach child could be at risk of failing. At-risk factors could include, some of the dynamics, family dynamics. It could be how they perform on state assessments. It could be other risk factors that our teenagers and our students are facing right now. Hence why we allocate a lot of funding towards that. And it does support our program services before school, after school, during school. And a huge part of that goes towards the supplemental programs for our tutorial staff members to support the teaching and the learning process within class. Our goal is to continue expanding our tutorial capacity so that we have more individuals assisting during class, math, ULA, science, and social studies. I'm not going to read this. What I've just explained to you really sums up what Title I and why we are a Title I school-wide program. It really depends on the demographic that you're serving. It is not a bad thing. As an educator, I always say when we're working in a capacity where we know there's a need, we know we're given a lot, and we are really making a difference in the lives of the children. The traditional ratings and the traditional definitions of what's this school, what's that school, you have to fully understand that schools are very demographically and geographically sort of dictated. Here, we are a school of choice. We welcome you from all different regions of this, Wayne, Metro Detroit area. We have students from all different kinds of cities and backgrounds. And it ultimately results in families that are this dedicated, and some of you have been with us forever and ever. And we've been nothing but a great partner. Even when we agree to disagree, it's always a positive outcome. And that's what we stay focused on. This relationship that we end up really designing. It's all about the rigor, the relevance, and the relationships. So could parents be part of this decision making? Absolutely. I do remember some of our parents used to attend what we call the school improvement meetings. That traditional term is now called Michigan Integrated Continuous Improvement Plan. Sounds a little more fancy, but all that it is how can we improve our schools? And how could the families and the parents be part of this decision making? Obviously, the BTC is one way, but also attending the MyKIP meetings, which happen on a monthly basis with a team of educators and students, is another very, very critical step to be involved. It's all about equity, right? We want to be providing programs that are equitable to all students. So if student A receives learning in a way and student B receives, learning in a different way, we have to make sure our core curriculum is equitable. equitable يعني بسواسية بطريقة عادلة. Exactly. أكيد. So if you would like to join the school improvement teams, which we now call the MyKIP teams, We have Mrs. Lucy, myself, Ms. Saleh, our assistant principal. We do have testing going on, so some of our key administrators were unable to join us this morning, but we have our amazing deans that will be great support to you this morning. But you can email Ms. Lucy, Ms. Saleh, or Ms. Saad. We are working on opening the ParentSquare messaging capacity so that you're able to message me on ParentSquare, similar to how you were able to message me on Class Dojo. But we're in the transition process right now. Give it a little bit of time, and we should be able to have that. And some of you that are accustomed to emailing me, feel free, or stopping by the main office. That works at time, no issue. You can also sign up via phone, via email, shoot a message. It all works. So our goals are strictly related. The first four goals are the subject-based goals: science, social studies, math, ELA. We want to see a 5% increase. Yes, you always want to set realistic goals. Setting unrealistic goals for our children is simply going to be a challenge that is going to stress them out, and a challenge that's going to stress our educators out. The academic gap that exists since COVID is way too big for us to be shooting for anything higher than 5% on an annual basis. Good news is, based on NWEA data, PSAT data, AMSTEP data, and despite maybe the demographic, shift and need that exists within our academy, we are in a very good, stable standpoint when it comes to academic performance. That goes back to your efforts. That goes back to the amazing work of the educators, and the students really mean business. They're here to learn. So another goal is to improve student scores on the college entrance exam. So not only in high school, post-secondary as well, ensuring that they're also declining in terms of disciplinary infractions. We want to continue supporting our students to be self-disciplined, understand that every action leads to something big and detrimental. So let's make sure we're choosing the proper actions, proper measures. So colleges and universities, that means we are shooting for students' preparedness for post-secondary education. Data, I've already mentioned all these wonderful tests your kids talk about at home. You see Dojo and ParentSquare, notifications about them. Currently, we're doing fall and WEA testing. So all of that is going to take place. And as you all know, state assessments are mandated by the state. NWEA assessments are mandated also by the state, because you as a district, you're required to select a local assessment. We selected NWEA because it gives us growth data. We see whether our students are actually growing, declining, what's their capacity, and how we can better support them, and differentiate instruction based on that data. Curriculum and instruction, I think I went over what our core focus is going to be this year. Every time on the PA, I say, hey, I'm taking your cell phones, and we are doing literacy every single day. It sounds a little obnoxious, but it sounds very targeted. I'm taking your cell phones. I have started taking their cell phones, and the deans can talk about that. And I'm going to make sure that we are reframing our classrooms to be literacy rich. Literacy is fun. When we teach and learn reading strategies the foundational way, it is fun. It is going to bring that joy back to reading and to comprehending reading. So that's it. The parent compact is all that our amazing personnel going to take a look at. You did receive a copy. All the forms are in ParentSquare. We are fancy with ParentSquare, guys. I cannot tell you enough, and I'm not going to go over it because we have an amazing presentation coming up. But this is a very fancy sort of hub for all of the forms and all of the operations that parents deal with. So we're very lucky that our district has adopted a platform that embodies all of it. So you'll be able to review the parent compact, the policies. We actually also went over it during May's session last year when we had sort of the one-on-one type of collaboration with the families. So take a look at that. Today, you have the opportunity in the survey to tell us what you think about those policies, how they can be better strengthened, how can they be better, revised in the near future. But we all know your parent compact, the forms are in ParentSquare. We have the, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, we have it in the, not the agendas, what do we call them?
Contract?
Planners.
Planners.
The planners. Back to the foundations, Ms. Lucy. Planner is a foundational tool. The planners, right? It's all there as well. It gives you the policies and we ask each and every, parent and student to really sit down, read those policies. So we're not being questioned every day. Why are you holding me accountable to that? Well, it's in the policy. We had an assembly, you know. So we're gonna take a look at that today. You're gonna be guided on how to complete the forms, how we first sign up to ParentSquare, because that's like number one step before even signing any form or any contract or revisiting that policy. But the policy pretty much stays the same. If you remember from last year, our district had some board-approved district policies regarding the devices that keep bringing us a lot of headache and a lot of trouble, unfortunately. So we all know we are a device-free campus, meaning if it's on you, it's not yours anymore, right? So please remind your children, elementary should not have them with them, right? Middle and high school, your devices go in the locker. We had a full-on assembly where we covered that. Why? Well, simply because we want you less distracted on these things, and we want you to not be doing some of the bad, troubling behaviors using those devices. For very obvious reasons, I'm confident that the families are thankful that those devices hopefully come to element. Now, are there going to be infractions? Of course. Kids are meant to test you and to challenge you. If they don't challenge you in middle and high school, they're not preteens or teenagers. That's just what probably all of us did at their age as well. So all of this information, it's in the parent-student handbook. It's sent home with each student. It is addressed during conferences. We address part of it during the orientation. You have the right to know student achievement results will be shared with you. We send reports home and we post it on ParentSquare and Dojo. But I just included some of the forms that you're gonna get to see. Just included a screenshot of those forms so that you can take a look. It is translated to my understanding, which is an awesome tool for some of our families needing that translation. The policies are fair to ensure a proper school environment.
All language.
All languages.
All language.
That's even awesome. That's amazing. Obviously, we also offer the limited English proficiency services to support our students. And the one task that administers that is the WIDA. Usually we administer that in February, March of every school year. And how you can be involved, we already talked about that. We'd like to see you at the MICAS meetings. We'd like to see you at school events. We'd like to see this at every engagement session, which is once a month with our amazing deans and a little more gentlemen, right? Where are the gentlemen? Mr. Shihab, thank you for sticking around. Third year in a row. Parent-teacher council, if you want to be part of that, that'll be an upcoming meeting for those of you that would like to run for leadership positions within the parent-teacher council. So please know that when we give you the annual surveys, we do read them. We sit down and read them. We read what the students are saying in those surveys. We look at the percentages from year to year. Why? Because when we talk about a school, the administration cannot be separate from the teachers, and the teachers can't be separate from the students, and the students can't be separate from their families. When one of those four pieces breaks, there's a problem. So we gather your feedback so that we can continue improving. And when you criticize something, that is good. Now, sometimes we're a little more firm on certain non-negotiable things because ultimately they've been proven to help us in the long run, right? Whenever there's change, there's pain. But with pain comes ease, right? You see some of the few new changes, it's going to cause our students a little bit of pain. We're doing reading the traditional way. We're doing writing the traditional way. But ultimately, in the long run, it's going to benefit them. And Ms. Musi did not create that research. This is research-based, information around the science of reading. So how do you request to set up a meeting? Please call the main office. They usually send the calendar invite or they send the assistant principal, our curriculum coordinator, Ms. Saad, Ms. Saleh, Ms. Ansari, Mr. Al-Fanharawi, Ms. Alawar. We have Mr. Takush, we have Mr. Ati, we have Ms. Al-Dalami. We have a group of individuals, Ms. Sumaya Abi Abdallah, many other individuals that are ready to support you with multiple questions concerns, ideas. So they're all listed here. It is a big list. This is our leadership team, believe it or not. هيدا هو فريق القيادي بالمدرسة. يعني مسبوسي مش على رأس القائمة، على آخر القائمة. Because true leadership is about empowering the leadership of others, right? If we're going to skip over the department leads and come straight to the principal, they eventually will be principals. That's the goal, right? You know, assistant principals are principals in training. So let's have our confidence and our trust in those individuals because we all work together. We all talk about everything together. There is full-on transparency, okay? So this is the list. You know, I'll post it on Class Dojo and ParentSquare. You guys will have their email addresses. The very last slide, and I'm sorry, every time I posted that QR link, it corrupted the file. Not sure why, but this is the actual link to the survey. If you can grab your cell phones, put it in. Towards the end of Mr. Sharafuddin's and Mr. Takush's presentation, you can complete the, is that the right one, Mr. Yeah, awesome.
I'm not sure at this thing what it takes, but yeah,
It's the questionnaire, which I believe they'll be able to complete. That's it. We need your feedback. We need your ideas, your concerns. Remember to always give feedback related to the subject. يعني تعليقاتكم ومقترحاتكم لازم تكون حوالين الموضوع يلي عم ينطرح family engagement session. I apologize if I took longer than 20 minutes. I didn't realize there was this much. Mr. Tatush, it's all yours at this time. Thank you for giving me your quality time this morning.
Thank you, Ms. Hamza.
Of course,
Thank you so much.
Sheena.
Okay, parents, we want to welcome Mr. Sharafuddin. He's gonna go over some training about ParentSquare. Technically, that was his idea from A to Z, and he's taking the leadership for this. So welcome, Mr. Sharafuddin.
thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Yes, my name is Bassam Sharafuddin. I'm the family engagement and community liaison. بفضل نحكي بالعربي also. We would like also translation in Arabic.
كنا.
كله عربي.
I'll do English and just a little bit of a background. I've been with the district for 16 years. I want to give you a little bit of background about family engagement as a concept. So in about 2010, the government, based on a lot of research, found out there are things that affect student achievement, things outside of the classroom. And one of the things that they found out to be the most effective for child achievement was parental engagement. So بال 2010 تقريبا الدولة الحكومة عملت بحوث علمية ولقيت انه في اشياء بتاثر على انجازات الاطفال خارج الصف ومن اهم هذه الاشياء هي قد ايه الاهالي بيتشاركوا مع اطفالهم بالتعليم يعني قد ايه they're involved يعني هناك اندماج للاهالي مع فتره المدرسه. ف in about 2013, government decided it's almost 67%. The most effective one was family involvement. Imagine it's more effective than tutoring. It's more effective than additional tools, digital tools. The most effective thing was parental engagement in the child's education. So the government said, instead of spending money on electronics and extra assemblies, why don't we spend it on what actually engages the parents? So they started allocating funding to enhance and increase parental involvement. That was in 2013. فصاروا يحطوا ميزانية لدعم اندماج الأهالي مع الطلاب بالتدريس لأنه له أثر كبير على الطلاب. It used to be called parental involvement, يعني إشراك الوالدين. بعدين they found out that it's not only the parents who are involved with the schools, Sometimes the child is being influenced by his siblings, by his uncles, by his grandparents. So they changed it from parent to a family. So it became family engagement. So that is the secret behind this department that Mr. Takush is in it. I mean, the other deans are in it. Is that we want to increase parental. So if parents are involved, how do we increase it and enhance it? So this gathering over here is one of the tools to enhance parental engagement, and this is probably is going to get more exciting from here. So what we want to do in this family engagement, we want it to be a town hall. We want to have organizations come and table, give free stuff. We want organizations in the community to come and do little presentations, 10 minutes. We want to have breakfast, but thanks to the federal government budget that was cut, so we're trying to find alternative budget for it. But it's going to be an exciting event to increase value for you. يعني هذا الاجتماع من طرق اندماج الأهالي مع الطلاب، ورح نحاول بالمرات القادمة هذا الإفطار، الاجتماع الإفطار الشهري، أن يكون أكثر يعني متعة وفائدة عن طريق وجود مؤسسات بالمجتمع الاجتماعية مثل أكسس وغيرها، بيجوا لهون بيحطوا طاولات بيعطوا اشياء للاهالي to be a center for you to come and get everything you need from the community over here. And one of those other tools is what we did this year is we got ParentSquare. Actually, technology just caught up to the needs of the schools. من هذه الوسائل إدماج الأهلي هي التطبيق الجديد اللي اسمه ParentSquare. وفي الحقيقة التكنولوجيا الآن بدأت توفر ما تحتاجه المدارس في هذه الناحية. يعني before we used to use so many different tools, Remind, Class Dojo, this and that to increase the engagement. There wasn't one tool for everything together, and now there is ParentSquare. Who has it already? Who has downloaded the app? Okay, great. So with ParentSquare, it flips the formula. We're not asking you to. You don't need to opt in. You're already opted in by being in PowerSchool, by being in the school record. So this software is attached to the school record. هذا التطبيق متصل بالريكورد بالسجل تبع المدرسة. يعني الأرقامكم اللي بسجل المدرسي، الإيميل بالسجل المدرسي متصل بهذا التطبيق مباشرة. نفس الشركة اللي بتعمل برامج تطبيق الإيميلات المدرسي هي نفسها عاملة هذا التطبيق. When you update your number or email in the main office, it gets updated automatically in PowerSchool. يعني أي وقت بتغيروا في الرقم أو البريد الإلكتروني بالمدرسة يتغير على هذا التطبيق. And you have access. We don't need to give you access. You already have access if you're using your phone number or email that is in the school record. Both parents have that access. If there are two parents or two guardians in the system, then both guardians have that access. يعني already إذا رقمكم موجود، بريدكم موجود، فيكم تفوتوا على التطبيق، ما بحاجة حدا يعطيكم إذن لا تفوتوا. بس تفوتوا راح يسألكم to verify تأكد من الرقم والإيميل عن طريق بيبعث لكم كود على التليفون، بيبعث لكم كود على الإيميل حتى تدخلوا له يتأكد إنه أنتم أصحاب هذا الإيميل أو أصحاب هذا رقم الهاتف اللي متصل بالرقم بتاع الأطفال. لأنه ما في أي واحد بيجي يحط رقمكم ويفوت على سجل الأطفال، فبصير في تأكد من هذه الناحية. Security. And also it will ask you to verify your children. So if you see a name, مثلا a parent could have put a phone number in the school system that is by mistake they put one number wrong and it is someone else's number. So now that person with that phone number, when they enter, is going to show a different child for them. So it's going to ask them, is this your child? So also you verify if you just make sure that you have your children the correct record on. And also, if you need to change your number or email in the school system, you can do it through ParentSquare. You can request update your information and request. من زمان كان لازم تتصلوا بالمدرسة لتغيروا الرقم أو الإيميل، هلا مجرد عن طريق ParentSquare فيكم تطلبوا تغيير الرقم أو الإيميل إذا في إيميل جديد إلى آخره. وأيضا before we used to have only one email for the whole parents. Now we have an email for the first guardian, let's call it mother, and an email for the second guardian, let's call it father. So there's two emails and both parents have full access to the. So what can you do through ParentSquare? So ParentSquare is basically all the communication of the school will be on ParentSquare, from the class communication to the clubs, to the athletics, to the whole school communication, to teacher on parent communication. So there's three things that we use ParentSquare for: post direct messages and smart alerts. So إذا في ثلاث طرق لاستخدام يعني ParentSquare أو هدفه هو ثلاث أشياء. بتشوفوا في بوستات لأي جهة إلى علاقة بأطفالكم. مثلا إذا the principal post, you'll see it. If your teacher, the teacher of your class posts, you will see it. إذا المعلم من طفلكم بيحط شيء بتشوفوه. إذا مثلا طفلكم موجود بمجموعة let's say chess club نادي الشطرنج بيحط نادي الشطرنج post, you'll see it. So it's kind of like Facebook with your friends are basically the teachers and admins who your children are in their classes. So you only see the timeline of these posts. Also, you can do direct messaging, so you can talk one-on-one with any teacher you want. You have access to the full directory of the school. So if you want to talk to Mr. Tapush, you can go and talk to Mr. Tapush directly on direct messages. There's no longer you need to WhatsApp him or anything like that. You can talk to him directly there. And it also allows translation. ممكن تترجموا. So بس تختاروا your preferences تفضيلاتكم بالتطبيق. فيكم تختاروا مثلا اللغة العربية. كل الموقع بيتحول للغة عربية. And when you send your direct messages in any language, it will be automatically translated. وبس تبعتوا رسائل للأستاذ باللغة العربية، الأستاذ راح توصل له باللغة الإنجليزية، والأستاذ بيكتب الجواب باللغة الإنجليزية راح تترجم لكم بشكل مباشر للغة العربية. So فيكم تتعاملوا بأي لغة، كل اللغات موجودة على هذا التطبيق. أيضا بس تجيكم رسالة مترجمة ترجمة اللغة العربية مثلا اللغة التفضيلية بيقول لكم إنه هيدا الرسالة مترجم، يعني بتشوفوا مترجم وفيكم تشوفوا الأوريجينال، يعني في button under each message that says show original. So إذا مثلا ما فهمتوا الترجمة ما كانت واضحة بتشوف الرسالة الأساسية فيك تكبس على الزر بترجعها للغة الإنجليزية تشوف الرسالة. And also you get all the smart and urgent alerts. يعني مثلا إغلاق المدرسة بأيام الثلج. You're going to get it through ParentSquare. You're going to get a phone call, but it's through ParentSquare. So now let's talk about setup. هيك شكلها على التليفون وهيك شكلها على الكمبيوتر. On the computer, on the left side في الخيارات المختلفة. الخيارات تحت ثلاث categories: communicate, explore, participate. Under communicate, you can see the posts and alerts. So even if you missed that alert, you can see it over here. And under explore, you can see the directory, which is يعني دليل المدرسي. Calendar شو برنامج المدرسي. Oh, photos, videos, you can see all the photos. All the photos that are in the post will all be populated on the photos. So if you missed a photo, your the teacher went to filter, put all the photos of your kids about 3 months ago, and you want to find it, you don't have to scroll through posts to find it. You can go to photos, videos, and you can find all the photos there. And links, we put some important links there. We're going to be adding links like IXL and things like that. And then the third category is participate, where under it you'll see groups, you'll see the forms and permissions. You'll see signups and RSVPs. We'll talk about it later. Payments, we don't have it on right now. And volunteer hours. If you volunteered, it accumulates your volunteer hours, which is something you can use.
Are we reverting to this instead of dojo? So we're done with dojo?
Moving, we're shifting
And then we're gonna be done with dojo.
very soon. We're shifting.
So Class Dojo has something that this doesn't have, which is the points that you give to the children.
Children. Yeah.
Classroom behavior.
كلاس دوجو في خيارات للمعلم أن يعني يجازي الأطفال بنقاط.
صح بالبوينت.
Yeah, positive and negative points.
هذه بعض الأساتذة راح يستمروا يستخدموا كلاس دوجو لها الهدف.
Most likely elementary.
But as far as communication, we should be switching to this. Now, we're not forcing teachers to do that. So إذا معلم بعده عم يستخدم كلاس دوجو, they're going to continue maybe using class dojo if they want to. But this eventually, يعني this year will be the last year for overlap. ممكن معلم يستخدم كلاس دوجو. Yes, ma'am.
So question, your presentation is showing the web version. Do you have a presentation where it shows the phone version?
Yes, so I'm coming to the phone version.
Okay.
So, and on the right side, you'll see that the calendar with upcoming events, payments we don't have, and you see other forms. And this is the feed chronological. And if you want to limit the feeds, so if you click here, you can choose what do you want to see in the feed. So all these features that I mentioned, and by the way, this is your account. You click here to access your account. And all these features are also available on the phone, just a little bit more coincide. So all this menu is here.
That's not fair. When you click that button, that's not fair. It says, because I was trying to follow along, it doesn't say that.
Like for instance, let me show you.
It says student, schools, class, account. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah, so that's what you have. So what you have is explore this menu and participate this menu. And you don't need the communicate because it's already in the main menu.
So you show us that on your presentation that, because when I click that three little line, I just see student, school, class, account, about, and help.
Yeah, as a parent, I believe they have limited access to some things.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
No, they have,
So like you said,
Yeah.
click the three things, right? So I click the three things and I see students, class, accounts, about this.
Yeah, but it's saying that here.
Yeah.
I need to stay with
Now, I understand this part down here, the toggles, I see the event, the alert, I don't understand the word, this is all my. But when you said, direct message or communication to teachers, how do I get to that, to messages? Thank you.
okay, I'll also be available to answer individual questions. Looks like also there's a difference between Android and iPhone. But these options are all available one way or another on your phones. You have to explore different phones, have different ways of ordering that. So I want to talk about when you set up your account, let's download تجهيز للاكونت تبعكم. This is very important. I wanna make sure that you know that. So there's going to be more communication coming, right? Because all the athletic clubs, all the extracurricular, the teacher might have a smaller group of students where she's tutoring and she might have your child in them. So you're going to receive notifications about that. I don't want you to get tired of the notification. So there is 3 ways that you get the notification, and there's 3 channels to get the notification. And you can set up that what's called your preferred way. You will set up your preferred way of communication. When you go to your account, you choose notifications, you're going to choose your preferred way. في 3 طرق لوصول الرسالة لكم. The first one is text message. The second one is email. The third one is عن طريق التطبيق push notification. تطبيق نفسه بيبعث لكم notification. كل واحدة من هالطرق you can set it up. Either you don't want to receive any messages through this way, it's called off, or you want to receive messages through this way, it's called on, or called instant. يعني immediately when a message is sent, you receive it. And the third way is it's called daily digest, means it sends you one email or one text message or one push notification a day at 6 p.m. with everything that was sent in the last 24 hours. So مثلا if email, you don't want to receive a lot of emails, you can set the email to digest. You get one email a day with everything that was sent in the last 24 hours. But you might say, okay, but I don't want to miss any important alert. No, don't worry. If there's an important alert, it's going to override these settings. So إذا كان في إعلان أو رسالة مهمة راح تتخطى تفضيلاتكم، راح تروح instant، راح توصلكم رسالة whether you set off or on, wherever your setting is. شو ما يكون خياراتكم راح تتخطى هذه الخيارات إذا كانت الرسالة مهمة. If it's urgent, you will get even a phone call. For urgent things, you also get a phone call, a robocall, both in English and Arabic to tell you the message. For important alerts, but they're not urgent, you can receive them. راح توصلكم رسائل مهمة شو ما كان تفضيلات للرسائل العادية. هلا بس الأستاذ يحط رسالة أو الإداري يحط رسالة بالمدرسة. They also have three options how to put this message. Either they can just post it with no notification. يعني فيهم يحطوا الرسالة من غير ما يوصلكم إعلان أو إعلان بأنه الرسالة وصلت، فما بيجيكم any text message or anything. You only see it if you open your phone and you'll see it. هيدي بتكون الأشياء مش مهمة، مثلا راحوا رحلة وأخذوا صور بيحطوا الصور، ما في داعي يبعثوا لكم text message. ثاني طريقة which is the default، يعني most of the messages are it's coming through your preferred way. So الرسالة العادية بس يحط رسالة، فرضا أنا عم بحط رسالة إنه بالنسبة لهيدا الإيفنت today I can put it to be sent according to your preferred way. This is the default. So أنتم شو الخيارات اللي حطيتوها? What's your preferred way of communication? You receive it this way. And the third option, which is important for you to know, is that the teacher or the admin can put to send it instantly and override your preferences. So if the teacher has an important message they want you to get right away, for example, today after school party is canceled, and they want you to know that, they don't want to wait for you to get it at the end of the day. If you have digest setting, they can override that. It's a great feature that they can override your preferences if it's important. Otherwise, they're going to send it to your preferred way of communication. Because why? Because I'm using اتصالات بعض الأهالي and we're getting a lot of messages. Well, you control that. You can go and set your preferences كيف بدكم توصلكم الرسائل. أي سؤال about this? Any question about this? Yes.
Well, not about this, but something else.
Sure.
There's like the forms that we have to sign.
Yeah.
ParentSquare. I click on it, I sign, but then it tells me that signature is not approved.
It has to be your name as it's spelled in the. Yeah.
It's still.
Then I'll check it. It should work.
Can I see it quick?
It has to be your name
Open
as
it for me.
spelled in the.
Is there any, star as well?
If you have children in several schools, no, this is only for you, ULA. But if you have children in several schools, then you can switch school here.
One more.
Yes.
Can I add one more child?
Yes, all the children, if they're siblings and they're in the same school, then if you have access to more than one child, they will be together.
I tried by myself.
I'll check it for you. Yes.
Question, so the notifications about the parent contract, right, it's like 20 parts, right?
Right.
Is there a way to see all the forms? Because 20 parts, 20 forms.
Yeah.
Is there a way to see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yesterday we posted something. We posted it everywhere. I'm just gonna go to the Instagram. That's the easiest.
Okay.
wants to decide. Fifteen was sent earlier.
Right.
Because
So maybe I should rephrase my question. So I understand the forms. I go to my Apple phone, I go to forms, right? And it say my forms and all forms. I got that push message yesterday and I completed it, right? So how can you tell if you filled out all the forms? Do it say completed or do it say?
all forms are not sent yet. They're gonna be, we're sending them day by day, just not to overwhelm you, but they're gonna be completed by almost Tuesday.
Mhm.
If the form is, we just, go with this, flyer.
Okay, parents, every time you see a form, you need to sign it for each child.
Yes.
So if you have, let's say, 3 children, that's meaning to sign the same form 3 times.
Yeah.
So you can get the star. Big star. Okay? There's like 20 forms we need to sign this year.
I can't see it because
Is there a form where it can be not digital? Can it be just passed out? Because this is ridiculous. That's a smart question.
Bakit tayo? What's the-
And I enjoyed.
So if you want to see all the forms together, click on the 3 buttons or more. And click on forms. It will show you all the forms. The one that you've completed, it will show you a star.
Okay.
The one that's not completed, it will be empty. And that's where you can access all the forms. All the forms will be sent by, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you can wait. They're due on September 30, so you have time to do them. But they're all there. You can do them because each requires a signature.
Thank you.
15 is the first one, so it should be here. It doesn't have a star. This means we didn't do it. Okay. Yeah. بعدين so we do have يعني بعد لم تكتب يد. Yes.
Kids and showing only one of the 20 forms. Does pre-K have to be on parents?
Pre-K is on ParentSquare too. Yeah. The kid is not showing up.
Excuse me.
Yes.
For some reason.
Sorry.
She doesn't get the post. She's out. I'm not that first.
بس هو قال فيك تحطي إلى البيرنتس أنا ما عندي أنا ما عندي
Doing okay here so far? Okay, are we able like to go to the contract?
There they are.
With the forms? اوكي لحتى تقدروا تعرفوا شو هن الكونتراكتس اللي ما خلصتوهم. بتروحوا على الاب بتروحوا على تكتبوا شيء اسمه more. You go to more, then forms. And you start signing each form based on how many kids you have. If you have 4 kids, you need to sign the same form 4 times. Till it is done. Then you see a start. Then you move on. Mr. Atiyah is going to go around. If anyone has a problem or question about how to log into ParentSquare or do the form.
Okay, this is good. This is good.
So if you have another kid, it's going to ask you to complete another form, which is in blue. You'll see it. You click again and again. You start.
I know, I read the phone. I read the wrong.
So don't expect a lot of papers from the school anymore. لا تتوقعوا يوصلكم أوراق كثيرة بالمدرسة مثل قبل. لأنه هذا التطبيق هو راح
I think we need another session. We're still stuck on the first and you're moving on forward. We're still stuck on the
This is about it. You're already advanced. If you already have the app and you're using it, you're advanced. بس هلا
considered surgery.
هلا we'll go forward if you have any questions. So some of the things you're going to be seeing is if the teacher, for example, is asking, there's an event and asking for RSVP. إذا المعلمة أو المعلمة عندهم نشاط معين يحتاج إلى تسجيل، راح يقوم بالفورم التسجيل. إذا في volunteer sign ups، مثلا المدرس عامل حفلة بعد المدرسة بده كل أهل يجيبوا شيء معهم. He wants cupcakes، بده سلطة، بده كذا. And people can sign up. You can do this on this form. You can do sign up. Parent teacher conferences. بكرة باجتماعات الأهالي مع الطلاب مع المدرسين. There's going to be different sessions, different time openings, and you sign up. بتختاروا الوقت المناسب. You sign up for a wish list. If the teacher has a wish list for the class or a party or something, and also you'll see it there, and also forms. You're doing forms right now. So little by little, you're gonna see new things. We're not doing everything at once, so it's not overwhelming. You're gonna see more and more things done on this application. Now, if you want to talk to your teacher, all you have to do is go to message. You can go to, let's all send a message to Mr. Takush to test it.
It's gonna go crazy.
Must be upgraded.
Yeah, but tell me, what's your question? No, this is the example.
Oh, okay.
If you go, so you're in this, this is, okay, so go home. This is the,
هذا الصفحة الأساسية.
yeah.
I sent a Lisa a password thing. She's saying that on her PowerSquare, on her ParentSquare, that she's not receiving on this child. And she has.
You pick the purpose.
ما هي قالت لي اشطبيه ونزليه مرة ثانية شطبته ما عرفت
I sent a Lisa a new one for your email. Unfortunately, your email.
You should have, do you have email yourself?
Yes.
You should have, make sure you click off the email and to move your,
Monday قالوا لي لازم تيجي على الميتنج عشان يضبطوا لك اياه يعني
Yeah, no problem. The record in the school, this program takes on the record in the school. Right, so you should have your phone and your email, and your husband should have his phone and his email. So just text them in office. It's okay. Both of you will have access. Now, a teacher, dear parents, when a teacher sends you a message, a teacher picks a student to send a message. By default, it's gonna pick both parents to send the message to, and the teacher can remove one of the parents and just send it to one parent. But by default, the message can go to both parents if the teacher is talking to both parents. And also, so that when you send a reply to the teacher, it will only go to the teacher. But if the teacher adds you to a group, let's say a group of parents that she's talking to, then it's just like a WhatsApp group. Everyone sees the messages. You go to a bus. You can switch to small picture. Great, yeah. So in the top of the screen, over here, the screen over here, you should see Arabic. If you have Arabic as a second language, you should see Arabic at the top. You can switch the whole application to Arabic. So this is, I'm assuming that if you already have the app, I'm assuming you did the steps, which is activate your account and confirm your children, confirm your email. If you have any of these, if the email is wrong, the phone number is wrong, the name is misspelled, please contact the main office. This is how you set up your notification setting on your phone. You go to the menu, you go account, you go notifications, do that right now if you want. And then for each one of these notifications, email notifications, text notifications, app notifications, you can either turn it on or off. And after you turn it on, you can choose instant or digest. Instant, you get the message right away. Digest means you get one message with all the messages that were sent in the last 24 hours at 6 p.m. If you update anything in the main office, it will take 24 hours. The update happens at 2 a.m. So it will take 24 hours for the new updates to depends how much do you want to, do you feel you're getting a lot of messages? Then you need to reduce it by either turning off some of the alerts. You don't want to have everything on, everything instant. This means every message you get, you're going to get a text message, a notification, and an email. And so if you don't like that, if you check your messages, you don't want to check your emails, you can turn off the emails. Or you can put it on digest and you get once a day, so you can customize. And again, it does not affect ما بتأثر إذا في شيء مهم. If there's something urgent, it's not going to affect that. We're going to override your updated policy. Now, everyone, if you're in PowerSchool, you're already going to receive messages from us. Whether you download the app or not, you're going to receive text message, email from us. The only way to get out of this is to fill an opt-out form. So the script is flipped. You used to have to sign up for things. Now you're already signed up. If you need to leave, you need to fill a form to leave for us not to communicate with you anymore. So the communication is on. The only thing that we're worried about is not reaching you. We're going to reach you. We are at 100% reachability. We are only worried that it's going to bother you to get a lot of messages. That's why we want you to make sure that your settings are convenient for you. Let other parents know. Any parent that says, I'm getting a lot of messages, tell them to fix their notifications so they don't get a lot of messages. If you block us, we're gonna get notified and we're gonna call you. And language, you go to settings, language settings, you can also get it on the phone. You go to account, preferences, language, and you can pick your language. You will see posts and messages with selected language if translation has been requested. So you can pick the language that you want to receive this with. And by the way, look at the other features. You can use Face ID to sign in. So if you turn this on, you can use Face ID to sign in. And also you can create Siri shortcuts. You can create Siri shortcuts. For example, you can create a shortcut to contact your child's, teacher, something. If you're more advanced user. I think that's my time, Mr. Taflouch, but we have a few minutes if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharafuddin.
Sorry? It's okay if you don't download it, but you want to download it because you're gonna be able to sign up for things. Sign up for the permission slips, like filter permission slips, no longer gonna be paper. You're gonna receive a form and a post by the teacher. And if you don't fill it, you're gonna be reminded. So there is reminders. You will get the notifications, believe me. But you need the app you don't need the app, you can access the website. That's what I mean. You don't need the app. You can go to the website and sign up.
What?
Even on your phone. Yeah, of course. Of course, I 100% have the app.
For all our kids.
But I'm saying it's not required.
Let's get the.
Okay, I'll be here going around if you have any problem to help you. Well, Mr. Taflouch talk about the next thing.
All right. بعد في عنا 10 دقايق تقريبا. We're gonna go over just some policies that I need you to remember, okay? And for parents who just came this year, so you know exactly what you need to do.
You got it?
Your return policy? Okay. Okay, so new school policies, as you can see, we still have the same for the assessment policy, nothing changed from last year. Attendance policy, the same. I need improvement in attendance. I need the students to be here by 7:45. Okay? Don't drop your kids by the school door by 7:55. That's gonna work. They're tardy. So let them come here to breakfast, 7:30, have some breakfast, and be ready for class so they can have some time. Cell phone policy, nothing changed. Okay, we're being very strict with this. And we need to have our kids, their cell phone has to go straight in the locker from the day they enter the class, before they enter the class, the day they enter the school, they put it in their backpack, turn it off, and they put it in the locker. Uniform policy, also, nothing changed. The blue polo shirt. Some people ask me on the website, the Squad Life website, there's like color black or color brown or different colors. Please just stick with the blue only, because this websites they sell for different schools too. It's not just for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And black pants, black. I see different colors every year. I see people coming in shorts, ripped pants. It doesn't work, please. Black pants. So you need to have at least 3 pairs for your kids. Okay, 3 pairs. Make them ready. Uniform. We're gonna start. We already distribute uniform for all the kids. If you need to order more, there's on the school websites. We have limited in stock. We don't have hoodies. It's only on the school website. So if you need to order uniform, go to the school website. They have free shipping so far. So, and school uniform, student has to be in uniform September 22nd. September 22nd. Okay? All student has to be in uniform. So I give you a clear example what they need to wear. If they're cold, they can order the ULA jacket and wear it on top of the uniform. يعني فيهم يلبسوها فوق اليونيفورم ULA jacket. اوكي بس ما فيهم يجيبوا جاكيت سوداء والجاكيت purple يلبسوا لي اياها فوق اليونيفورم. It doesn't work like this. Because uniform has to show. So if you need your kids to wear a additional jacket, it has to have the logo, the school logo. Sorry? So they can wear something underneath. بيلبسوا تحت اليونيفورم شيء. Okay.
like الفليس بالهاف شيرت النص كم فوق
There's a dress code violation code. That means student not complying with the uniform. Deans will call the parents. First time we give a loaner shirt. Second time we give a loaner shirt and we give after school detention. Third time we don't give a loaner shirt. We call the parents. They stay in the office and they need to have a full day reflection. Of course, for elementary, we're still like more lenient, but it's a parent's responsibility, especially I'm talking about a kindergarten student. Okay, so he's not gonna wear his uniform by himself. So parents will be able like to have their uniform ready. Okay, and I expect a lot of parents asking about uniform the next few weeks. Just be patient with us. We already passed out a free shirt, but we cannot give another free shirt. So whatever you get is whatever we have in stock. If you need to order more, you go to the school website. We have two websites. The first one is Squad Lock, and it's already on ParentSquare. You can look. The second one is the polo shirts, which is Tommy Hilfiger. And for Squad Lock, they have the zip up, but make sure you order the correct size. There's youth and there's adult. When we talk about youth for elementary, and when we talk about adult, middle school and high school, okay? And if you end up ordering the wrong size, it's not our responsibility. It's between you and the website. There's customer service, 1-800 number, you follow up with them, okay? So we don't want to reach to level 5. We end up reaching with some high schoolers, they don't follow dress code, and that's on them. So we want to make sure they follow dress code. None of the students is allowed in class if they don't have uniform. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable, it's already on the website. This is for dual enrollment. So if you have any seniors and they're already taking classes in Henry Ford, it's very important if they have a dual enrollment class, the last hour or the last 2 hours, is someone to come pick them up, okay? Otherwise, they have to stay in the library. They cannot go around around the school. If they leave the school, they're not allowed to come back until dismissal time. So if you have a dual enrollment student, any of the students is taking classes in Henry Ford College, community college, they need to be picked up on time. Morning arrival, we already clear it. They come here, they get breakfast, 15 minutes, then they get dismissed to the classrooms. They have 10 minutes passing time. Then the class started 7:55, not 8 o'clock, 7:55 exactly, class started. Any student coming after 7:55, they will be marked tardy. Dismissal, as you can be, like you're familiar with this now, but for parents who are new, kindergarten, first grade, they get exited by exit 1, which is next door here. 2nd to 5th, they get exit from exit 14. And 6 to 12, they exit from exit 8. So if you have high school student or middle school, high school only, please parents, don't come to this area. Don't come and pick up your kids from this parking lot here. The west parking lot, most likely for elementary student. And with the delay of starting ACP, which is after school program, we're having a lot of traffic. and we cannot finish like, it takes like sometimes 20 to 25 minutes. So this is a long time. So we need your help, and we need to make sure if you have middle school and high school student only, pick up your kids from the high school side, which is exit 8. If they have siblings as elementary and you sign the form, you already signed the form and give it back to the teacher for elementary pickup form, students can come pick up their siblings and go to the opposite side or meet you on the side. What's your question?
Question, I pick up my daughter on from the other side, but that parking lot is not as big as this parking lot.
That's
And my issue is, it took me 15 minutes to get out that parking lot yesterday. And it has to be something better, because you got the buses over there, you got kids running out. I don't want to hear nobody kidding nothing. I know you have one car where I saw one yesterday.
yes.
But this is very confusing over there. Somebody else needs to be over there with that traffic. I don't know who else, but somebody else needs to be over there directing traffic. Because
Okay.
it took me 15 minutes to get out.
So we can have an additional admin supporting over there.
Yes.
But in the same time, you have to take in consideration, we have 5 buses
Mhm.
in the opposite side. Okay, that's why it's a little bit congested, but we're working with this. By next month, as soon we start ACP, all this traffic will be, it will decrease quickly.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll see the difference because our parents will be coming at 5 o'clock instead of coming at 3 o'clock to pick up their kids.
So is there buses that pick up kids?
For refugees, yes. Only. So, as you can see here for parking lot, we already share it. The east parking lot for 6 to 12. The west parking lot for K to 5. The parent contract, the deadline is September 30. As you can see, Mr. Sharafuddin is now posting 2 to 3 forms. Last year, it was totally different. By sending the contract through an email, it was 1 form. This year, they have to split it to 20 forms because Square didn't accept it. The app didn't accept the form as one. So they have to split it 20 forms. That means if you have 1 student, parents has to sign 20 pages. If you have 2, parents has to sign 40 pages. 3, 60, 4, then 5 kids. I have a family of 6, which is 120 pages. Parents, you have to help us. It's a big load on us as deans, but the deadline is September 30. If the parents didn't sign the contract, there's consequence. Which is consequences? Okay, let's say there's field trips. We're not gonna be able to do field trips because the contract is not done. And we go by classrooms. Let's say we have 30 students and I have 10 students already complete the contract. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to do the field trip on time. So field trips will be delayed later during the year, especially for elementary. And I prefer to have a field trip for elementary now because the weather is beautiful. Go to Apple Orchard or any other place. But if the parents didn't sign the contract, especially the bus transportation one, which is, I believe, form 15 out of 20, and this is one of 20 forms, okay, I'm not going to be able to do the field trip on time. So everything will be delayed. بيتأخر لبعدين. Any questions? أي سؤال؟ اللي بعد عنده مشكلة ب ParentSquare خليكم موجودين. اللي مشي حاله كل شيء تمام. Please continue signing the contract, the forms on a daily basis. Mr. Sharafuddin is going to be posting every day 2 to 3 forms until you reach 20. There's 2 forms, you're not going to see them. It's only for seniors for graduation. So you don't have to worry much about form, I believe 6 or 5. I'm not sure exactly, but
There's only 14.
so far it's 14, but you need to reach to form 20 by Tuesday. So hopefully today he's going to share some.
They're gonna-
Yeah, he's going to keep posting.
Be in order, right? So I think it's 6:15, I'm 6:16.
That's fine. So I can look at your phone right now and go over it. Any questions so far? So parents who has questions for ParentSquare, stay here. Yeah. Zainab, we're done.
HES Academies have been serving the Detroit metro area for over 23 years, promoting academic excellence, leadership, and cultural diversity, ranking as some of the top schools in the state of Michigan. Our pre-K through 12th grade students enjoy tuition-free, state-accredited education by STEM-certified and highly qualified staff with no geographical restrictions, and with advanced placement, college dual enrollment, scholarship, and Arabic language programs. Noor International Academy in Sterling Heights at niapsa.org, Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights and in Canton at starpsa.org, Universal Academy in Detroit at universalpsa.org, and Universal Learning Academy in Westland at ulapsa.org. Join HES Academies today and enjoy a free Chromebook for every enrolled student.